Hi there, I'm Bernard from Bits Technology Group. I'm here to talk about everyone's current favourite topic, AI. It's an interesting time, both in our space and for our clients. We've been spending the last 12 months or so building out our own internal tooling, either replacing existing tools that were either expensive and we didn't utilise to its fullest extent, or building custom integrations for things that we otherwise couldn't have done before, where there's no off-the-shelf product or there's no integration for the particular thing that we use. And I think the power from these AI tools comes from being able to develop and code things using products like Claude Code has been amazing, and honestly, the technology is very underestimated, I think, by the general business community. A lot of people think of AI, they think of writing my email or creating funny images or funny videos, which are all fun things to do, and they're our team here will make custom videos for people's birthdays or custom birthday songs, or even songs about printing out our parking passes and having the 3D print melt on everyone's dashboards, like just silly stuff like that. But giving AI a really finite set of rules and a way to work through bulk amounts of data is an amazing technology. Late last year, we had AI go through transcripts for 44,000 phone calls in 1 month. Did it in about 3 hours. It churned through it to give us insights onto why people were calling that particular customer, why, or what time of day, what the general sentiment was. And then that gives them the ability to go through and say, okay, where are we falling short on delivery for customer service? What can we do better? And it was a really good use case of the technology and what it can do. And I think the way this is moving forward is it's one of those technologies that in the wrong hands or done wrong or done poorly can result in inadvertently opening up your company data to areas or people or places it shouldn't be seen. So generally, when we're talking AI, if you're a Microsoft 365 customer, then using something like Copilot gives you very good guardrails and gives you the ability to make sure that your staff and users can only see what they should be able to see. It has opened up in the past. People ask query it. How much does the boss get paid, or potential HR information, and in some reports people said, Copilot's returned and told them that you can see these things, but usually that's just poor hygiene of a tenant, and those users had access to that file. They just didn't know that they had access to it. So it wasn't giving them access to anything new. It was just showing it in a way that they weren't, digging through multiple files and folders to find that information in the past. And that in of itself is a great feature of something like Copilot. Like, it has context around your emails, transcripts from meetings, all your SharePoint data, and then you can start bringing in custom data too. So for us, we have like a dossier of each client, and we've built little AI agents to be an expert on each client. So if you need to know something about any of our clients, you can ask that particular expert bot on that client. It'll return the information based on the technical data we keep for our clients. So it's a good time saver, but where the power of AI is really starting to come into its own is when you have like a team of bots working together. So they can't pull in huge amounts of data on their own, like they're sort of limited to small amounts of data, but you can have, say, for example, we have like an orchestration AI that can ask all of the other AI experts of each of our clients questions, and it doesn't need to be the one to have the answers. It just needs to ask the right bots. So that leaning into the programming world is what's driving things like Claude Code, and if anyone's seen the Gastown analogy as well, and how that's functioning is really interesting. And so instead of having your one agent that you're getting to do jobs, you have 50 agents that all do particular things, and they do those particular things really well. So that's kind of where we're trying to guide and, go on that journey with our clients to uncover what use cases exist in their businesses, and to identify not necessarily huge custom undertakings. It might be a really quick, easy 5-minute fix here and there, that you can start using these bots to do these little things. I was talking to a colleague, Jake, yesterday about this, and previously there were things that you would do that don't take you very long, and you can do it yourself, but honestly, it's just faster to get the AI agents to do it for you these days. And I think we're in a golden age of AI at the moment, and I think the AI companies will start pulling this back when they, learn how to properly commercialize their models and where the power really is. And I think all the tools that we use that have API endpoints, which is how we connect a lot of these tools together to do these jobs for us, I think those SaaS companies are going to start reeling back that access or charging you extra for that level of access. So yeah, we're at the point you can build custom software to do whatever you want to do, and you can replace what was typically really expensive software if you have the knowledge and the know-how and the skills to do it. And it's becoming easier and easier and easier. What previously would be a 6-month engagement with a development company, we're now knocking out in about a week, just to make little helpful things for us that do what we need to do specifically. And there really, honestly, is no better driver of AI adoption and AI usage as an internal champion. So someone who understands the business very well and understands the needs of the business and what to focus on. That's the real key. And I think that's where a lot of people look at AI and think, oh, we're going to become an AI expert company to do deployments. But realistically, the way the tools are heading, they're designed so that anybody can do it. And the people who are most intimate with the business are the ones who are going to get the best results, because they're the ones who can quickly adapt and quickly build and quickly model what they want. Our position in this is, that's basically what we're doing ourselves, but our position in this for our clients is to help them get those things in place to be able to leverage the tools to do what they want. So we're not there building the tools for them. We're kind of bringing them on the journey and showing them what's possible, and then making sure there's guardrails there from a compliance, governance, and risk perspective. That's an important thing to keep in mind. And I think this year is going to be really interesting in terms of cyber threats that come from vibe coding and what people inadvertently open up, not because the code is bad, but because they haven't thought through the level of access and how that functions when they're building these apps. So yeah, it's an exciting time. Really looking forward to where this goes. It also does give me a bit of anxiety, and because I think there's a large portion of the working public that live on a computer and operate everything they do day in and day out from a computer, and I think a lot of those jobs are ready to be replaced with something like AI quite quickly, quicker than people expect. So yeah, I think it'll be a interesting next 10 months or so in this space. So yeah, if you're curious about AI, we have a webinar coming up, and we're going to go through how we've been using it, what we've been doing, and some very easy use cases, like you can build a SharePoint bot now just off clicking one button in a SharePoint folder. So if you have a folder full of your HR documents, for example, you can click one button, create a Copilot agent within SharePoint. And you can put that into a Teams channel, and then people can just query it questions about all of your HR policies, and it'll spit it back like it's nothing. Very easy to adopt, very easy to use, very safe to use in the Copilot world. But yeah, there is some amazing tooling out there to do amazing things. So yeah, watch this space. Yeah, if you've got any questions, please let me know. Thanks.